Pleasure coming your way on Tuesday, 23rd April 2024. Good morning and welcome to the news on 3FM 92.7. We're coming to you live from our studio here, number 35, John Hammond Street in Accra. We're live also on all our social media platforms at 3FM 927, also on 3news.com. Coming up this morning, government begins auditing ECG to ensure compliance with the cash waterfall mechanism.
To bring accountability and transparency to bear on the cash waterfall mechanism, we have started auditing the cash waterfall, and we are also required to publish the findings from the audit.
Meanwhile, energy experts have welcomed the directive for ECG to run a single account. Also, government racing with time to meet labor demands of unions before May Day celebrations.
Enough is enough. We have given ourselves up to the 31st of May 2024. And when we take that major decision, that the whole Ghana, the whole world will hear of it and will be shocked.
Plus, over 2,000 children born with cleft lip and palate have benefited from corrective surgeries to fully integrate into society devoid of stigmatization.
We are aware of all the social stigma. Some are being sacked from the communities they live in. Sometimes when they give birth to them, they don't want them even to come out.
We have details of these stories and a lot more coming to you shortly. Please stay with us. Welcome to the program. Let's start the morning with this. Government has begun auditing ECG to ensure compliance with the cash waterfall mechanism. As part of this, the ECG is to operate a single bank account for revenue collection. It also to address the challenges with the cash waterfall mechanism established to guide the sharing of revenue collected by the part distributor across the value chain. Here is Finance Minister Dr. Amin Adam.
To bring accountability and transparency to bear on the cash waterfall mechanism, we have started auditing the cash waterfall, and we are also required to publish the findings from the audit. We've already done one audit and we've published the findings. We are going to continue to do that so that we can bring transparency and accountability so that all revenues meant for the cash waterfall goes to the cash waterfall for the purpose for which it was created. We've also established a single collection account. Therefore, ECG will not collect revenue through the many accounts that they operate. Everything will come through a single collection account. So it is easier for all of us to track.
You hear the voice of the Finance Minister, Dr. Amin Adam, there. Well, according to former GIMPA Rector, government should initiate immediate steps to prevent the current power distribution system from degenerating.
It's quite unfortunate. I don't think, let's be very careful. It is not as bad as the Doomsday days. But if we don't, it can only get worse. So the first thing is that to look at if there are bottlenecks which are not allowing us to use the existing capacity to the fullest, must be addressed. But in the long run, we must have a national strategic agenda. So we must have a strategy to make sure that we have a long-term solution, and the efficiency of ECG has to improve.
The voice of Professor Ade, who is a former GIMPA rector, speaking then. This comes amid worsening power crisis across the country. Moving on. The Colleges of Education Teachers Association has given government a 31st May 2024 deadline to settle all outstanding compulsory arbitration awards. SETAC says government's failure to implement the negotiated conditions of service for its members by the set date will result in industrial disturbances across all the public colleges of education this academic year. Now, it is demanding payment of the proposed salary grade as well as staff audit exercise and agreed compensation for all deserving members. Prince Obenhima is president of the association.
Enough is enough. We have given ourselves up to 31st of May 2024 to, as it were, decide. And when we take that major decision, I think it's something that the whole Ghana, the whole world will hear of it and will be shocked.
What decision are you talking about?
We do not want to preempt. That will come from the National Council. And we trust the National Council, we trust our rank and file, that will come out with a decision that will reflect the collective good and interest.
Well, still with Labour, government is facing a 1 billion cedi debt for 9 months arrears of the second-tier pension scheme. 9 Labour unions, referred to as the Forum, they are demanding payment before the May Day celebrations. Thomas Musa Tanko speaks for the Forum.
The money is above 900 million Ghana cedis. So if you approximate it, we can say that the government is owing the 5 sector public schemes an amount of 1 billion Ghana cedis. There was a need for us to look at the 3% on the 9 months. That's approximately 1 billion principal, and then we look at an issue of how the money should be transferred to the 5 schemes, how much should be the direct transfers, and also the instrument. All those things will have to be done.
The voice of Thomas Musa Tanko, who speaks for the Forum there. Moving on, a former GIMPA rector, Professor Stephen Adai, is daring the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, to go after former Roads Minister Kwesi Amoakwata, who accused some officials of the Ministry of Theft. EOCO has confirmed that it has completed an investigation into Professor Adai's claim that the individuals must pay 1 million cedis for road contracts in Ghana, deeming his comments presumptuous and lacking evidence. Professor Adai, in an interview with 3FM, stated that EOCO has a misplaced priority.
What I told them is that they wanted the name of the contractor. And I said that and I know that what will happen to the contractor, not in terms of what he has said, but at the end of their business. If I and you believe that the roads would get washed after a year and 2 years, where other places last for 25, is because they have gone through clean one, I will leave it. I wouldn't like to engage in this further. I think that I'll rest my case. I don't say they are lying. They say their investigation, they say it is presumptuous. It's up to them. Let them tell Ghanaians, they have told Ghanaians that it is presumptuous. Let Ghanaians make their judgment. Here is an insider who said that his ministry...
Professor Stephen Adai there. Away from that, over 2,000 children born with cleft lip and palate have benefited from corrective surgeries to fully integrate into society devoid of stigmatization. Now, cleft lip and palate are birth defects that occur when a baby's lip or mouth does not form properly during pregnancy. A combination of genetic and environmental factors affecting mothers lead to the defect. Here, at the Kofanochi Teaching Hospital Cleft Multidisciplinary Clinic, over 5,000 cases have been seen, with over 2,000 surgeries performed within the 20 years of establishment. Head of the team, Dr. Solomon Obriyabwa, says the issue of stigma is a bane they are battling with and more advocacy is needed.
We are aware of all the social stigma. Some are being sacked from the communities they live in. Sometimes when they give birth to them, they don't want them even to come out. They keep them in the room for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Some of them, they even have to come. We admit them here for 3 months and do the surgery before they go back to their community.
Hear the voice of Dr. Solomon Obriyabwa. Well, some others who have had their children corrected spoke with us.
We are aware of all the social stigma. Some are being sacked from the communities they live in.
We apologize for the wrong insert there. But before we go this morning, the next NDC administration plans to reconsider the distribution of sanitary pads to female learners in both basic and senior high schools. NDC flag bearer John Mahama gave the hint when he addressed some teacher unions. The policy under the former NDC administration was heavily criticized by the then opposition, the New Patriotic Party.
The provision of free sanitary pads for female learners in both basic and senior high schools was initiated under the SWL NDC administration. If you remember, our opponents now in government mocked us and called it the pad loan. For you, the unions, to have raised this as an issue in the concerns that you have presented to us means that our policy on sanitary pads was well thought through and needs to be looked at again.
That's former President John Dramani Mahama, flag bearer of the NDC, speaking then. Ending the morning news on 3FM 92.7. There's more news on our website, 3news.com. My name is Noble Crosby Annan. Business news is up next with Sunrise with Helen Apiampo. Helen, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are we doing?
I do very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad. Manu, how are we doing? You're both synchronizing today.